Welcome to a tutorial on how to make 2D articulated animals in Blender. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a pterodactyl, but really you can do this with any creature. In the future, hopefully I'll do a tutorial on how to make 3D articulated animals like the fish and lizard I made earlier. Well, anyways, let's get into Blender and start making this 2D articulated animal. Start by finding an image, preferably of a top view or side view of the animal, or I guess you really even could do object you're wanting to make articulated. Then put it in Blender and add any object and go into edit mode and hit M to combine vertices to center. From there, add the mirror modifier and trace the outline of the image. Once done, you can add a subdivision if you want to make more detail, then apply both modifiers and hit F to fill. Now we need to make the connector, which we will use to make the creature articulated. There's a variety of ways of doing this, but I decided to add a plane, rotate, scale, and move it in edit mode, and then use the spin tool to make it a circle. Which, as you may have noticed, you can also get the same thing by adding a cylinder and using the inset tool to both the top and bottom, and then using bridge edge loops to make the hole. Whichever way you choose, you select the outer half of the cylinder and extrude it. Then flatten the rounded part by scaling it. Then to make it print better, I made the rounding part a little less harsh by just moving vertices. Now that we have the connector made, we can extrude the creature so that it is the same width as the connector. Then we can cut the animal into pieces by adding a cube and a mirror modifier, and then go into edit mode and move the cube over a little ways, then add an array modifier. Then change the distance until you get what you think is a good distance, then select the creature and add a boolean modifier and select the cutout. Now we can add the connectors to make the creature articulated. All we need to do is move the connectors to ideally the farthest part that we want connected first. Once it's where you want it, go into edit mode and then select the interfaces and then duplicate them and scale them along the X and Y axis inward a little bit. Then hit Option E to extrude along normals, then scale it upward a little. Then hit L to select the newly extruded part, and hit P to separate the object. Then we go into edit mode for both of these objects, even though they are separate objects. Then duplicate them and place them along the other gaps. Potentially, if the creature you're making expands as you go inward, you can make them bigger by just scaling along the Z-axis. Then once all of the one side is done, we can go into object mode and add the mirror modifier to both objects. After that, select the creature and add a boolean modifier and then select the part that we extruded and separated from the connector. Well, now we're basically done aside from exporting the model, which we can do with the 3D Print Toolbox add-on. And then go assign it where we want to export it and hit export. Just make sure the connectors and the main body part of the articulated object is selected without anything else, otherwise it might have fused parts or not be connected, and I've definitely had this issue before, and it's kind of annoying because you just waste filament. By the way, if your model is like this, you may have had faces inside each other, which you can fix by simply deleting them. Well, there we have it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this helped you create an articulated animal or object, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Anyways, bye!